Dear learners, welcome back to your educational channel Learn and Educate. We would be studying about the definition of organization as defined by Lydall Urwick, wherein organization is about determining what activities are necessary to any purpose and arranging them in groups which assigned to individuals. Organization is about determining with clarity what needs to be done. That is an analytical process. It is an individual piece of work which is combined collectively to achieve the goals. Therefore, organization focus on work and not on people first. It is about systematic, rational, and goal-oriented activity. And organization is about what is assigned, which is allocated. There is a clarity of responsibility. Therefore, organization leads to essentially identifying activity, grouping activity, and duty assignment. Organization is determining what activities are necessary to any purpose and achieving them in groups which may be assigned to the individuals. Organization is about the activities required to achieve a purpose are identified. These activities are grouped logically and the grouped activity are assigned to individuals so as to ensure clarity, efficiency, and responsibility. Group intent, individuals, and activities. It is about the individual, which means specific persons, a job holder, and officers or employees who are assigned the responsibility. Therefore, here the responsibilities are individualized. In an organization which is related to a planned process, organization is a process of planning and grouping activities. Organization begins with determining what the work to be done. The work is arranged logically into groups, that is department wise, section wise, and these group activities are then assigned to individuals. Thus, organization is activity of planning and activity of grouping plus assigning activity. It is about how activity planning, how grouping and assignments are designing process. It is not just a structural chart, it designs the process. Organization is the designing the process. It is about the component of definition are determining the activities necessary for a purpose, arranging the activity into groups and assigning them those groups to the work to the individuals. Therefore, this steps is a fundamentally about clarity of work, logical grouping, and proper assignment. The description of definition of organization based on Ulrich is organization is a systematic identification of all the tasks needed to achieve a purpose, grouping this task into logical units and assigning them to individual so that the purpose is accomplished effectively, efficiently. This can be done where organization is about determining. It determines, identifies, decodes, discover clarity, define the objectives, the clarity about what needs to be done. It is an analytical process. Activity means the task, the work, and not the people, which are necessary, essential, and that needs to be done to achieve the goal. Therefore, not only work is needed, it should include this prevents the wasting of time and duplication with respect to any purpose. Therefore, purpose means objective, goals, mission, and the reasons for the existence. Organization depend upon the purpose, activities, and the structure. For example, when first identify the purpose and then find the activity, that is what needs to be achieved. This forms the structure. First find out the purpose and then the activity, identification of purpose, which leads to finding the activities, and that leads to the achievement, which form the structure and arranging them. It is about organizing, ordering, structuring, and systematizing. After identifying the activities, they must be logically arranged. There is a systematic, rational, and goal oriented execution of the work. Work is done in groups and departments, units, divisions, sections, and teams. Therefore, it must be placed together. All finance departments, all human resource departments, and all production activities, it is done through different departments. Finance activity is done to finance department. All the human resource activity is done to human resource department. All production activity are done to production department. Grouping avoids the chaos. Grouping leads to systematic division of work. It assigning them work allocated. There is a clarity of responsibility. After grouping the activities, it must be handed over to the right person. This leads to clarity of responsibility. Therefore, with an individual assigning the work to the individual means a specific person, job holder, officer, and employee to whom the responsibility is given. Therefore, as per the Lydall Urwick, the work responsibility is individualized. Someone becomes accountable for each group of activities. Therefore, in an organization, it connects the activity to the group and to the individual. Activities assigned to the individual. Therefore, this activity requires the activities which required to be achieved for a common purpose are identified where an organization is systematic process, and this activity are logically grouped, and the grouped activities are assigned to individuals so as to ensure clarity, efficiency, and responsibility. Therefore, organization is essentially identification of activities, grouping the activity, and assignment of the duty to achieve the common purpose, to achieve any purpose, and arranging them in groups which is to be assigned to individuals.